Anyway, that is our show. We want to
No. We should talk some more with Landry, because we all went around. We got to ask him, what's your entire thoughts on the Flux, man?
Oh, okay. I was not prepared for that.
Good.
I watched all of it. I watched each episode as it came out. I enjoyed the Sontarans. I liked Dan fine. I thought he was fine. Yeah, he was enjoyable. I love that paranormal investigator guy.
Jericho.
I'm never going to remember his name for a while. Anyway, I thought that episode was really well done. I just there were a couple scenes with the villains. I don't remember their names. I thought they were maligned unfairly in some of the corners of the internet, being Power Ranger villains. Like, have you seen a Doctor Who villain? Like, they look great. When the one lady was standing on a mountain and the purple sky, whatever color it was behind her. Doesn't hurt that I'm colorblind. I thought she looked fantastic, but I thought that overall the story meandered. I just didn't feel very invested in it. I'm not super invested in stories personally that explore too much of the Doctor's background. I didn't like it when Moffat made implications about the Doctor's childhood. Did not like it in the Sylvester McCoy era, where they started implying that the Doctor was more than just a Time Lord. They've gone this route before. With the Eighth Doctor being half human, I didn't enjoy that either. I'm not really on board with that personally. As an overarching plot, since that's the theme here of talking about series, as a series, I found it not my favorite. I'm curious to see where they go next. I watched the New Year's special. I still can't believe they lost the Christmas spot. That's sad.
Upsetting. We all
jeez.
But and with that one, we've already have a repeating loop episode, very recent history with Heaven Sent, that is brilliant. That is just freaking brilliant. So to do another one, even though I thought the premise was fine, and it's a ticking clock, and I love a ticking clock, but again, I'm not feeling a lot of gravitas, a lot of stakes, and I'm not sure that's the fault of the show. And Jimmy, we talked about this before. I can't help but feel like part of it is they're still trying to make a show from 2006, and it's not 2006 anymore. It's 2022. The show desperately doesn't just need like a new doctor or a new composer or a new director or a new showrunner or new writers. It needs to be modern. It no longer feels modern. I mean, it's a show from the average viewer's childhood that really is fundamentally unchanged tonally, like just in terms of the way it feels. So I just think we're due for a real reboot.
Think about it. 7 years ago, Stephen Moffat was still saying camera phone.
I will never forgive Chibnall for taking away my Christmas present.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, I loved Christmas. That tradition became such a beautiful tradition. Even when the episodes weren't great, half of them weren't, but you still got a little open presents and then I'll watch Doctor Who with my coffee or whatever. Yeah.
New Year's doesn't have the same feel. It's like, okay, we're in the new year. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we're in the new year, but it's not as big as a celebration as like Christmas.
No.
And everyone's out and about drinking, doing stuff with friends.
Or recovering from it. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
At Christmas, everyone's sitting down and just being together in front of the TV, watching Christmas
not like they
movies.
can go anywhere.
No one's
everywhere's closed. It was perfect. We're all hostages for Doctor Who.
That's right.
And so that was an abysmal choice. I mean, what I understand, I don't know if this is accurate, was that Chibnall had no plans to make a Christmas special, which is why Moffat, finding this out, wrote one in, because Capaldi's last episode was going to be the one with the Cybermen and the Master and Missy.
Yep.
And then we got that wonderful. I still wish. This is no commentary on Jodie Whittaker, which I'm not going to even comment on. I still wish that they had done a season, because of meeting the first Doctor. Something went wrong so he regenerates back into the first Doctor. And so we have a season of, what's his name, who plays the first Doctor in that episode?
David Bradley.
Season of him as the 13th Doctor.
I would take it. I think that would have been cool. I do view it slightly differently. I think they're too focused. You took somebody who did a great show like Broadchurch. It was great. I'll admit he did that well. And he's done Doctor Who episodes before. I'm not going to say I cared for many of them, but he came on, and I think his goal was to create the fam, trying to push that, oh, well, come on, kids, it's time for a new era of Doctor Who, and it just did not work. His Jodie's second season came around. He decided, I'm going to go into crazy into the Doctor's past, and that just doesn't sit right.
He wanted to make his mark on Doctor Who. So Russell bringing the show back, Moffat, you have he's no longer the last of the Time Lords, also revealing who Riversong is. It just felt like Chibnall just wanted to make his mark. It's like, what's better than I give the Doctor a definitive origin story, which we don't need. The Doctor is like the Joker. We don't need the origin.
Exactly. That's
the mystery. Same thing. The mystery is what people like.
100%.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's like fear. It's the scariest thing in the world is when we don't really know what something looks like.
Yeah.
And because then it could be anything. It could be the scariest thing you've ever seen. But as soon as you see it, all the mystery's gone away, and then it's just this exact thing right in front of us, and it's just not built up to what it was in our head.
Look at Psycho, or any Hitchcock murder, anything like that. You see, most of it happens off camera for a reason, because it's more powerful. Mystery allows each of us to have our own perfect version of what maybe is happening. As soon as you lock it in, you lose that mystique. It's just, yeah. So I think it was. But have you seen the video of Chibnall when he was young and he was criticizing John Nathan Turner? And I think I'll give the guy this. He consistently wanted dramatic change in Doctor Who. What he says then is what he did. It's just, it turns out he wanted it as a fan. And that's one of the worst. As somebody who works with properties like this, though never gotten to do it with Doctor Who, but with Batman and Star Wars and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the stuff I've worked on, you have to check your fandom at the door. It's not about what you want. It's about what works for the story, for the characters, for the audience at that time. We all have preconceived notions of what we would love to bring to the table, but you have to measure that when you get there. And what doesn't work, that is professionalism. You have to take it off the plate and set it aside, and recognize when it does not work. And I think he didn't do that. He had a dream thing he wanted to do with Doctor Who, and it wasn't for any of us. It wasn't for anyone but himself, and that shows. Ladies and gentlemen, that deserves this. Oh wait, I did it. Here we go. Yeah, that's all for you, man. That is perfect.
And then gets to put his own, essentially, fanfic, and he doesn't resolve it.
That's the most upsetting.
He sets up the resolution and then throws it away. The Doctor has the fob watch that contains her timeless child memories, and she's like, I don't need it.
Can I comment on that here? That was not how the fob watches worked. That is not the thing they established. It's not like, it was a device that rewrote the Doctor's biology and contained the version of him that it had stored, so it could restore. I mean, I guess maybe that the watch contains a completely different version of the Doctor, and if she were to open it up, she would become that other version in the same way the Doctor. But it's supposed to turn the Doctor human, is all they said. Oh, maybe rewrites biology into something else, but the Doctor, I don't know. That was weird. I assume that though in the specials they're going to. I hope they're going to try to resolve.
They're probably going to. The last after the Sea Devils, they're probably just going to somehow cram it in.
Yeah,
with, also bringing the Master back and
Well, here's the thing about that.
The regeneration.
I heard there was a rumor going about that. The Sea Devils ends with a giant cliffhanger with the fob watch.
So here, and this is, I guess, one of our final things. The thoughts on the Flux overall. With the end of season 12, the whole point of that ending, right then and there, after finding out that, oh, you have an entire past you don't know about, her other self, the Ruth Doctor, tells her, You know who you are. It's who you've always been. The Doctor. Okay. And then with the special after that, what was that? Resolution of the Daleks?
I think so.
She, once again, is questioning herself, but it comes back to the point. It doesn't matter. You're still the Doctor. You can find out answers, but you're still the Doctor. That's all that matters. We go through series 13. She's still asking the same question she has had the answer to for the past 2 episodes. For nothing. Just to throw the fob watch in at the end to come to the conclusion that I'm still the Doctor, so I don't really need it.
Which the fob watch is really kind of annoying because it's like she went through the whole season like, I need to figure out what this is. I need to get it so I can figure out who I am. And then when she gets it, she's like, eh.
Even though with how chameleon arches work, as soon as Azor opened it, she should have instantly got her memories back.
Yeah.
It's not you can open it, but oh no, we can venture into it like metaphysically.
She opened it and then quickly was like, oh crap, come back in. Go.
Ooh, that's right. That's what it always boils down to. I really feel bad for Jodie Whittaker that she was thrown into a new era that just wasn't going to be received well.
I think she was underserved. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And which is going to be kind of like annoying for a lot of fans because a lot of fans kind of wanted this to work. And then that fan base now is like, some of them are going to say it's tainted because it's like, well, we got this female Doctor, she messed it up. And if we get another one, I hope it's not messed up or it's probably going to be bad. Like, there's always going to be those people.
Those people, here's the thing. It's like, I heard it wasn't about gender or anything like that at the time. But this is what people said about Colin Baker at the time. That Colin Baker, they were killing Doctor Who. John Nathan Turner had killed Doctor Who. Now, admittedly, Doctor Who did go away for like 15 years, roughly. And it came back bigger and better than ever. And now people look back on that. It's like the show has always had high and low moments. I mean, this is and look at how much, as said, they've redeemed Colin Baker in the audiobooks. I think that the idea that the show is ruined, a show that has been around for so long, gone through so many changes, it may not be the show that some people want it to be right now. That carousel is on a constant spin. It will come back to being something you want. If you check out, the only person you are hurting is yourself. And I think that most of it's hyperbole, and most of those people are going to watch it anyway, especially if there's good buzz. The show has to improve. It has problems. I think that one of them is, oh my God, can we have Murray Gold back? I mean, the music, the composition.
I mean, let's be fair. That is the best, one of the best parts of the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've written half of the comics I've written since 2006. I've written while listening to the soundtracks from Doctor Who because they're phenomenal. But, there's a lot of things they need to do to get it back on course. It's a lot of small things, really. But the biggest one, I'll reiterate, is it needs to be a show for 2022 or 2023, not a show for 2006. And I assume that's what we'll get with Russell T Davies coming back. I don't think
he's very in tune. Yeah. He's very in tune with what does like the modern audience want.
Yeah,
very in tune.
It has to be a different style of storytelling altogether, and that's what he did with it once already.
That's what he did with It's a Sin. I don't know if you watched It's a Sin. It's his newest one about the gay epidemic, the AIDS epidemic running through gay people. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled. I didn't mean to say that. The AIDS epidemic running through gay people in was it the 80s?
Well, it was. I mean, the thing is, that's how people viewed it. As somebody who, I was like 14, 15-year-old when AIDS hit the scene, and that was all the buzz. So it was viewed just as a gay disease. So approaching it from that's interesting. I would like to see his take on that.
It is on HBO Max. It's 8 episodes, and by the time it ends, I was crying. It is amazing.
It might be too much.
Powerful.
I mean, I've known several people, especially by the late 80s, early 90s, who died from it because it was uncontrollable and no one knew what was going on. So I mean, he is the kind of guy. Russell T Davies is the kind of guy who can jump on that kind of material and handle it with. I'm unsurprised that he handles it beautifully. and he can also then jump on something like Doctor Who and deliver something that's appropriate for 6 to 16 years old or 6 to 60 year olds. But if you're 61, don't watch it. Not for you.
But here's the thing, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be political about it, but Chris Chibnall felt like the representation and politics of it was like ticking a box. And with RTD, it felt natural, and he gave us one of the greatest characters in all of Doctor Who happens to be gay, and it's Captain Jack.
Yeah.
And everyone didn't hate it.
At a time when that was a very controversial topic. We were in the middle of, at least, especially here in California, we had Proposition 8 with the gay marriage war was going on. It was the main issue going behind most elections. And in the middle of that, you've got this hero, a gay or bisexual hero. It was a phenomenal choice but it was very well executed.
Yep.
Jimmy and I talked about this before. My opinion is it's not about politics, it's about execution.
Yep.
And everything we've gotten lately has been ham-handed. It's just whereas there's no nuance, there's no subtlety, it's just not great writing.
I remember Orphan 55.
And we lived through Orphan 55. I think we can make it through another year.
And I'm going to say the last season of Capaldi, they tried to they had some political messaging fueling the episodes, but it didn't matter because the episode was good. It doesn't matter. There's a comic book writer who I was viewing at a con. He says it doesn't matter what you believe. If something is spoon-fed to you, you're not going to like it. And that is honestly the problem going through some of these episodes. I don't think that's
with Chibnall.
With Chibnall.
There were times some of it didn't click with me for Moffat either. Yeah. But I mean, with as much as these people are doing and the pressures, in all fairness to all of them, Chibnall included, the pressures they're under, having only a small taste of it myself in different jobs I've had, it's amazing anything gets done of quality. It is so difficult to work in this field when you have all of these different people to answer to, who all these different notes, all these different changes. We will never know how much of what we're criticizing really is Chibnall or really isn't. You just don't know. There was a thing just happened with an artist on a Marvel book came out and said, hey, just so everyone knows, in this comic that I just drew that's just coming out, they made all these changes. The bullpen made all these changes that I asked them and begged them not to make. And normally you come out and you say something like that, you risk problems, you risk blowback. It's amazing anything good gets made. It's gonna be interesting to see what we get coming up. And I'm on board. I'm on board for change. Doctor Who is about change. This change didn't work so well. I'm not against them trying, and I'm not against the things they tried. I just don't think the way they did it worked. But doesn't mean it can't work in the future if they do something different or the same and do it differently.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links below. Be sure to look out for more works by Landry Q. Walker and even the old works. Go ahead.
Real quick, do you have any book to shout out?
You know what? I'm just going to shout out Last Siege, since you brought it up earlier. I got this one on hand. Medieval War Story. Justin Greenwood on art. Just was talking to him earlier today. Great guy.
Oh, is it okay? I can't say anything right now. I don't want to spoil anything.
I think I just did. Read the book.
There you go. That's our message. So from all of us, I believe I speak when I say thank you so much, and we will see you next time. So long.
Geronimo.